And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Was that not the fastest 24-hour cycle I have seen in quite some time? It was. We'll get into the local elections coming up at 7 o'clock. Getting my time straight. Stayed out just a wee bit too late than I normally do last night. We had fun, but I am struggling this morning. Let me tell you, it's a different world out there of doing it that way. But we'll tell you all about the elections of what went on, a nail biter for Lauderdale County, City of Meridian. We'll get into all that coming up this morning. We'll also cover the general elections around the area from Newton to Philadelphia to DeKalb. We have those results, and we'll be telling you, even Marion, we've got that also. We'll go over that at the top of the hour also. So lots to talk about, lots to do this morning. It's going to be interesting as we do our desperately firing up the coffee pot over there. It's done put out about 3 for me this morning. It's got to make a few more. We'll be right back. Let's check in now as it's Wednesday. Don't forget, as you head out today, prayer meeting tonight, as they call it, or Wednesday evening church services, whichever you go to. Let's go to Collinsville now. Brother Ben's got a message for us.
The 19th century French author and politician Victor Hugo once wrote, "You have enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your life." Now that quote resonated with Winston Churchill, who loved that quote so much that it was often misattributed to him. But what a true saying. A person who never stands for anything never makes an enemy. But the one who takes a stand on anything will always see opposition rise up. Apostle Paul certainly found that to be true. He stood strongly for the gospel of Jesus Christ, and everywhere he went, enemies and opponents sprung up. In the book of Philippians, he told Christians to contend together for the faith of the gospel, to stand up for truth, to fight the good fight. And he knew that if they did that, there would be people rising in opposition. But his word to them in Philippians 1:28 was essentially, don't be alarmed by your opponents in any way. Their opposition to you is a sign of their destruction from God and your salvation from God. So beloved, let that sink in. When you stand up for truth and people take sides against you, they are the losers in the long run. No matter how much grief they cause you, how big and bad they are, how much they throw their weight around, they are foretelling their destruction and will not win in the end. Therefore, don't worry about them, because God's going to deal with them. You have enemies? Good. Keep standing for what's true. Never forget that the man who stands with God always stands in the right and always wins in the end. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. Again, I'm your friend Scotty Ray. So good to see each of you. Let's look at radar before we begin this and get into headlines this morning as we go to Doc's Toyota Radar. We are showing showers out to the west, Lufkin, Texas. Getting a little wet stuff today as we see a teeny bit of a shower just due south of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And as we get on in to the Georgia coastline, Jacksonville, Florida, those areas there. In Savannah, getting showers this morning along that eastern coast, even a little bit near Charleston. Beautiful Charleston getting a little bit this morning also. If you're in Pensacola, look out. What do we see there? Woo, showers out in the Gulf of America. We'll get into the forecast coming up in just a few moments. Hang around for all of that, and we'll learn something new together. Don, how in the world are you doing? Watching us from Knoxville, Tennessee. What was that old Hank Jr. song, sitting in the Knoxville courthouse, don't have a thing to do? He got arrested. That's the rest of the song. Boy, that's been years since I thought about that. As we get into our headlines this morning, what is going on? A judge has dismissed California's lawsuit over Trump's tariffs, citing jurisdiction issues. So that's out the window. Newsom will have to find something else. This goes back to 1978, and what a horrifying thing it was. It was California, 1978. School had ended. The following day, a school teacher was murdered. She was stabbed to death. They had no idea who did it. It wasn't until recently that a family member come and confessed that one of their family members told them they did it that very day. They just never told anyone. Well, the person has since died, I think he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound back in 1973. He'd been arrested time and time again after that. He was 16 at the time. But at this time, Diane Peterson has been solved. They know what happened at this point. And I guess you could say justice was served in a roundabout way. As we get into this, they're still searching as they go to Maine. Hikers, a father and a daughter went out for a hike. The father has been found, his remains. The daughter's still missing. As they and this is not like a young couple. This is he's probably 60. His daughter's in her 20s. Hopefully she'll be found. That's what we're hoping there. As Don Jr. expanding, he's going to be trying to start what they call an Amazon-type Second Amendment store, to where you could buy your firearms directly from him. Sort of an Amazon of guns, as they say that, to strengthen the Second Amendment. I think it's more about making a profit, but that's just my 2 cents. Do you ever have something you just can't explain? Well, I think we have found this as we go to Colorado. In one day, let me see what the total on this. 15 cattle, a rancher, dropped dead on his ranch. 15. They still have no idea why or what happened. That's a lot of cattle, 15. Sounds like there's more to it, but they're still researching this. And I'm telling you, it's getting bad, so bad in the mafia that they're having to report small things like this. Remember the Gotti family? Oh, they were the crime boss. They were the folks to be scared. The news has gotten so ridiculous that they're having to resort to that Gotti's grandson got in a fight and slapped his brother-in-law. That's the headlines from the mafia these days. Didn't they used to do meaner things, Odie?
Oh, little concrete shoes.
Concrete shoes. We thought they did, but now they've gone to slapping one another, and that's the best they could come up with on the Gotti family. I think it was backhanded.
Oh, that's even.
We don't have video, but we did hear tell of it. Things that make you shake your head. This happened in Meridian, so this is no shock that this would happen in Southern California. 7-year-old little girl had laid down to go to sleep. She was shot in her home as a bullet went through the wall. Happened here, didn't it? It's crime all over, even in our little town. That ice maker has problems sometimes. It woke up late too. Pakistan, we have over 200 inmates that have escaped after an earthquake. You don't think of things like that, but an earthquake has happened. They escaped through it after that happened there. This also is one of those stories that hits quite home to our little area. Scams. We all know that they go on, but scammers often seek the elderly to take advantage when someone's not really at their best, on their game, I guess you could say. A nun, the victim this time. She had $400,000 saved for her retirement. The scam showed up sort of like, you remember the Publishers Clearinghouse, how they used to say they would show up your door and award you the money? She didn't believe it at first. They sent her a card, and then they called her, and she began to believe it. And then the scam began of, you've got to pay so much to receive your money. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. And if you got a question about it, call a friend. If you don't have family, call a friend. They'll be more than glad to tell you. Odie, I think the thing is dead.
It's dying.
There's a black cord over there on the wall. Unplug that, and we'll let it go off in misery. Ice makers. Comes around toward that sink there, Odie. There she is. And, oh, she got the plug pulled on her. Might say he just went right over and pulled it on him. Peyton Manning is getting ownership in Denver's National Women's Soccer League. It's an expansion team. He's investing in it. Boy, that sounds like so much fun. I want to sign up now for 15 weeks of it. Let's see, celebrity. This is, I've heard of this guy because he was the celebrity hairstylist to so many of the famous. Jennifer Lopez, Kylie Jenner. You've heard of those names, haven't you? Their hairstylist, Jose Gorilla, has died of pneumonia with complications most likely from AIDS. He was a hairstylist there. What else do we have happening this morning? Real Housewives star, he's 71 years old, Tom Gerardo. And again, let me tell you his age. He's 86 years old. He was an attorney. If you ever watched any of those shows, which I don't care to watch those, it's usually a bunch of yelling between some females trying to make headlines. But Real Housewives, he's been sentenced to 7 years in jail. Now again, he's 86. What did he do? He was a lawyer. He won a lot of court cases for a group. And instead of giving them money, he gave them the runaround and used the money to his own advantages or his own privileges. Maybe that's a better way to put it. He's been caught. He's been busted, 7 years in jail, and he has to pay restitution. Will he make it out? That's the question. 7 years for someone at 86 is sometimes often the end. We'll see. Mark says he's going to support Don Jr.'s store. Diane Hale, good morning to you there. Let's see what else. Trump has pardoned 2 more people. This time it was 2 people, divers, that freed 19 sharks off the coast of Florida from a fisherman's fishing net. Is there more to it? I don't know, but he sure turned them free there. This is almost like a Hallmark movie or one of those suspense movies to where someone goes into a restaurant, they write a note, scribble it out on a piece of paper, they're trying to get someone's attention. Well, it happened. She scribbled it out on a note that she was being held captive and left it on a napkin. As she left, the waitress found it. They called authorities. She'd been held captive for about 3 months in a guy's basement. Pay attention. And that's just something I admit that I don't pay attention to. I sometimes walk with my head down, don't pay attention to what others are doing when I'm hurriedly walking in a place. Pay attention the best you can. Sometimes we just don't know when someone needs our help. The Navy, this has got a big stir this morning, is renaming a battleship. The USS Harvey Milk will receive a new name. He was a LGBT pioneer, they say. They're renaming that battleship. No word yet of what it will be called. This one rattles my soul. I saw this story. NBC, ABC, even Fox News has covered it. 3 little girls. They were the ages 5, 8, and 9. That's very young. Their father came to pick them up. They have been found deceased. They're saying he now has a mental disorder, and they're looking for him. He may be deceased at this point also. That was Washington State where that took place. Maybe you've seen that story. There's a place for folks that do that. It's a very warm place. I think y'all know where I'm talking about. We'll be right back with your forecast as we get this Wednesday underway.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Record highs, record lows. We see back in 11 it was 99. Back in 01 it was 50. A little bit cooler on that date. We don't have an update from Jackson on that yet, but over in Alabama we see that 87 is expected. From there to Birmingham to Tuscaloosa, even 86 in Montgomery, Alabama. Now as we look here, we do have a severe weather threat for Friday and Saturday. Saturday being the worst there, and we're going to watch this as this storm gets a little bit closer there, Friday night, Saturday night. Be on the lookout. We'll keep you updated as to how this happens there, how it turns out. As we look across those temperatures, cooler in the northern portion of the state, warmer in the southern portion of the Gulf, And then we've got kind of normal temperatures here in East Mississippi. As we look for the high today, 90 is what is expected, 20% chance of showers. We'll see the same for tomorrow, increasing to a 30% chance of rain, but the temperature staying the same. As we get into Friday, we go to 93 for Friday and Saturday, and we'll have a 60% chance of that wet stuff occurring on Saturday. That's going to be the worst of the weather there. As we move into Sunday, we increase to an 80% chance of showers, high 85. And look at this, we still have it on Monday and Tuesday with 70, 60%. So as that rain begins on Saturday, we're going to have it for at least 4 days in the forecast. As we go for another week, we still got a 60% chance by next Wednesday as we move forward. Look at this, rain, showers in the afternoon with highs anywhere from 85 to roughly 90 to 91 is what we're looking at for the next 2 weeks across the area. We'll be on top of this and watch that for you. As we look at fishing for today, major time today begins at 7 o'clock. It'll be good through 9 o'clock. And then right at dusk dark, right around 7:30 tonight, it gets even better through after dark. We got a minor chance this afternoon from 2 until 3 to fish. Sunrise hit this morning at 5:48. Sunset at 7:58 p.m. Not bad at all. Let's check the tropics. As of this morning, we have a 10% chance still of this lingering of a storm developing off the coast of Georgia there up through the Carolinas. That's not a big chance there. Again, that's a 10% chance. We're watching this storm. That's over the next week, next 7 days as we follow these storms to see what happens with that. Again, as we go back to radar, let's take a look at that this morning. I think you need to see that. Here's what we've got as we look at radar this morning as we go into Doc's Toyota. Again, nothing really in the area there. We have to go all the way down here south of Hattiesburg to find one. Let's go in and look at this as we look at into the weekend. This is going to be Friday, that severe weather there. So we'll watch all of this carefully over the next few days to make sure we don't have anything severe happen. It does look at this point, West Point due north toward the northern portion of the state happening there on Friday. We'll be on top of it and let you know. Should it be a concern, we'll break in and let you know. We're getting near the top of the hour. I want to say a big good morning to WMOX. Thank y'all for joining us today as we get our day underway. We'll be back in just a few moments as we gather all the information to discuss what has happened over the last 24 hours. A lot of shakeup in elections. I think there were some that no one saw coming. There were some close ones, some nail biters. We got the results from all of that. And we'll get into Marion. We didn't bring that up. We've got our top 5 picks there for alderman. That's on the way this morning. It all gets underway again right at 7 o'clock. We're going to make some coffee, get our thoughts together so we'd be better people. If you haven't tried coffee, it really does make you a better person. Join us, won't you? Be a part of what we do every day as we thank you for letting us in and in your homes every single day. We'll see you soon at the Scotty Ray Report going live at 7 a.m. We'll see you then here at the Scotty Ray Report.